What is KNU?
Huh? Bad boys.
Ari, what is KNU?
KNU, it's Kyiv National University of Terrorist.
Closing opposition.
Right.
Okay, grand. Right, I assume you know the motion, I assume you know the drill by now. Okay, so without further ado, I'd like to welcome the Prime Minister to the floor.
Hi there, my name is Em, and I'm the member of Opening Government. And today we are talking about global wealth cap for individuals. And our house believes that wealth cap for people is a good thing. And now I will define it more clearly what is wealth cap. Wealth cap is some kind of limit that just limits the amount of money that one person may have. And this, we as a government think that this limit should be something like few billions or something like dollars, yeah, of dollars. Okay, and sorry, not yet. Now I will just try to define and to explain why it is a good thing. So, in our world, only 1% of people possess 48% of its wealth. And why it is a bad thing? When we have concentration of such a large amount of possession and of money in one hand, we have economical problems. What economical problems? First of all, we in many countries we have no middle class at all because of serious concentration of money in one hand. And why the non-existence of middle class is a bad thing? Because middle class people are the actual class that changes society. Why they are doing so? Because middle class has more resources than poor people, than extremely poor people. It's obvious to change something, but they have more view to change something than extremely wealthy people, because wealthy people in more countries are involved in political and governmental systems, and they just sometimes too corrupt to want to change something. And the middle class is some kind of engine that makes our society to develop, to change, and so on. Secondly, why the unfair distribution, the unfair distribution of wealth is a bad thing, because poor people in many countries stay poor people for all their lifetime, because they can't just leave this status and because they can't the children of extremely poor people can have a good education because of lack of money in many countries. Money and good education, money and good education are very closely tied. Having money and having good education is very closely tied. And they have no opportunity to have good education, and as a result of it, they have no opportunity to often they have no opportunity to have a good career and to develop their career well. And not just because of education, but because of some stigma that in many countries people have because of their poorness. And another point is that economics in itself can't work properly when all the money are concentrated in one hand. Healthy economic means the healthy division of capitals among all of the members of the society. And when we have unbalanced system where someone has all the money and someone has none of it, we have economical problems, and we have that's why we not yet. We have to create. We believe that creating some wealth cap will be a great idea to balance an economy of global economy. To create some stability and to create reasonable and fair distribution of money and possessions and so on between people. And my teammate will clarify it better. As I said, we strongly believe that we should global wealth cap will do only better for only do good for our society, and only create prosperity and create stability in our world, and create and make global economy healthier and more reasonable and more stable. Thank you for your attention.
Okay, I think the final lady for speech. I'd like to welcome the member from the opposition side to open the case for his bench.
Exactly what we don't hear from our government. They propose this motion, but they don't say anything about what the wealth it will be and what will make some good for our society. Because they don't have any possibilities to, if the people who are good in our society will become slower, we don't understand how the rich, how the poor people became better. We're not giving money to them. We are not changing the system as it all, how it works and how they make the money, but we are only make the good people are lower what they actually can. About economical problems where we have no middle class, but actually it's not about to speak in this motion for some problems, because first one thing we should understand: the person is not an instrument in the gold hand, and for now we don't can a possibility to make the rich people guilty in such countries where we don't have middle class, because it's not the person of rich people who are guilty, it's the guiltiness of government who can create a possibility to make the middle class stronger. We can say only if the government is corrupt, government has no possibilities, we're giving a lot of monopolies. If government makes this, not the rich people, so we can't about possibilities to make them guilty and propose this motion for this position. Secondly, we are not about saying the poor people, they will be always staying poor of them. Because we can understand and realize that all people have the same unique necessities. If the rich people have the necessity to have two plates, it's his necessity. But it's not the belief that another person, for poor people, has the necessity to have a plate. He has the necessity to have $40 per month. It's okay for him. He can be happier than having $40 because he has no responsibility. He has no responsibility of thinking how workers he has. And he thinking in some moral decisions what the person has in our mind, all necessities. have in such cases. Also, we can't understand and realize the position of this motion that poor people will always be poor because they have lack of money and because of lack of education. Actually, this argument is about the rich people use this system to make richer, education, some money, but actually it's not true. Poor people also have the possibility to become richer if they have so motivated and they really want to do it. If they don't have Steve Jobs and Bill Gates, some other person make the system better. But for the most logical sense of this argument is that rich people are not using only this system, they change the system at all and they make the system better. Because they not only use education and poor people have lack of education, they pay taxes to make schools, the government should do it. They pay taxes and create the system. By the way, they also have charity organization and make the system possible to where poor people become more educated and become more possibilities. So they can create a possibility and these people in their own hands do it good, and we think it's really a possibility in our society. About some economical problem, with actually it's not about understanding making some problems because we have rich people. We have no any economic crisis in the history because we have rich people. We have some economic crisis because of some regional reasons. Some, as it was a Great Depression or some other, not because of rich people. And by the way of saying this motion, we can understand how the economic crisis will not in the future. So it's unbelievable in this motion. Two things from Knut we would like to propose in her motion is first, person is not an instrument in government's hands, and second, person sometimes can be an instrument in government's hands if it can be is good for society, but in this motion it will not any good for society. Firstly, about why it's not an instrument, because in our society it's not about government who can create rich people are better in the society. It's because of these rich people. They are individuals, they understand their own possibilities, they work for themselves, they educated, they work as much, not as only educated by system he can use. Steve Jobs has no education, he was no universities, no good law school, no good school just about it, but because of education, understand what he wants. So in this system they make themselves not because of government, but because of themselves. Also, we don't understand. We want to understand that in this possibility we also don't want to see about using the system. For example, Messi in the football team. Messi is good, but we can't understand. We can say that he will become good because on the football team. Football team without him is not as good as Messi is because of his individuals. And not every person can be the same as Messi because of his own possibilities and his own ability to make it. Secondly, person is a person has not understand how they should give the society some goods his own. It's his right to do it, and government should not make some harm for it. Second and thirdly, person has a possibility to change it as a change in our society for now. We have charity organization. We have Soros in debating for now. We have some understandable. This person has some ability because of system, because of the society. They want to change the society and they do everything possible to do it. So, to that position, we should understand this person can be used by our government. The person can be an instrument in our government only if it makes some good to society. But we actually believe that proposing this motion is making harm for society. Firstly, about possibilities and necessities. Not every one person has that same necessities. Yet we understand that some rich people are working only for money, and they money and money and money. They want more and more and more. But it's not bad in our society because for them it's making happier. These people are actually making happier just working this money as the same as the other people are happier to have $40 per month because they are without responsibility, are happier to have this because of necessities we have. Secondly, if so, these people are actually will be demotivated to make something understandable. And in our society, we need to understand that this motion we can't make other people, poor people, happier because they are unhappy. In our subjective mind, they are unhappy because we have rich people in our mind. But actually, in objective reason, they are unhappy because they are not motivated, they have no possibility to work hard, they don't want to work, but they're just having some food in society. And we can make all happy in society because rich people, in our case, will be unhappy. We can create in our society a possibility for them to work harder and harder because they have a limit. it for it, and for them, this money is absolutely happier. So we have a possibility. The rich people will be unhappy, and poor people will not make more happier by this motion, because they will not work harder, because they will not work better, because they have there are other reasons are working in such cases. So because a person is not an instrument in government hands, and because using this person as an instrument in our government, it makes harm for society, we're actually proud to hold this motion. Thank you.
Okay, the fine gentleman who speaks. I'd like to welcome the deputy leader from the proposition side to continue their case.
Is there some kind of table, like a little one we can take here? No?
I think we can take this chair.
Oh.
Not to change it this
Can
time.
you give me one, just one?
You can put this on the chair.
Oh, that's great. Okay. Hello everyone, my name is Miriam, and I would like to start on some clarifications because it might seem a bit unclear for you. What government wants to do, and like right now I will just try to explain you two major things. First one, why poverty is bad, and the second one is why extreme wealth is bad. At the moment, we all understand that there is this like 1 or 2% of the whole world population that takes 78% of the world's money. It holds this money. And as a result, this money are not distributed to other classes, like middle class, like this lower class. And as you said that there is in some countries no middle class, you have to understand the definition of middle class, upper class, like lower class. Every society has different classes because every society has people with different resources and like different amounts of money they hold. As a result, if I have $10 and my friend has $5 and my sister has $1, I'm the upper class, she is like the lower class, and there is a middle class. We are saying that what we want to do is actually to get the poverty off this planet, because we understand that most of the problems in this world happen because of the extreme poverty. There are lots of countries in Africa, in Asia, and even in the Eastern Europe where extreme poverty influences people's lives and influences the whole world. Because first of all, poverty means let's be honest, no education. As if you're born in a family which is extremely poor, you're like forced to work since you're 12. There is like this extreme low wages for children and this exploitation of children, women, even men. Like everything is really like kind of going against the human rights in these terms. Also the distribution of diseases, because poor people are not able to actually like get this thing which is like not just medical treatment, but also like in terms of vaccination. Like because of this vaccination, they are like spreading diseases even more, and because of that, people are actually in the danger, and they're not able to like be protected from just simple diseases. And another thing which is really bad about poverty, not right now, is that people kind of get stuck in the class they are born. Of course, they do have a chance to like get to the other class, but because they are born in the class which kind of makes them stay there, because they're not able to get education as they don't have money to go to university, and as they are forced to work and help their people, like help their families, they are forced to kind of stay in that class for their whole life. I'm not saying that there are not people who like go to upper classes, obviously there are, but in majority of cases. Also, we can state that it's kind of like going against, actually, I'm sorry, I'm feminazi, not like I'm trying to only talk about women, but it's actually kind of going against the rights of women as well, as they are like in the poverty world. Women are forced to like in Africa, for example, as soon as you're 14 in some countries, you're forced to be married and you're forced to have children, and you're forced to just stay in that kind of frame for your whole life, not getting educated, not contributing to the development of yourself and the development of the society, of the community and the world around you. So I'm just saying that people in the lower class, they're still people. They're still just as human as we are. They're still just as able to like contribute to the development of the world, to the economic development, to the just a better future, just as well, and they're also members of our society. This is what I'm going to say. And the second one is why extreme wealth is bad. You're saying that extreme, like, people have a right to become rich and richer. Obviously they do, and they do get motivation to get like more and more money. But actually, if you think about it, the reason to get more and more money, it's not about money, it's about self-realization. And lots of theories have proved that motivation comes not from money you get, but from the self-realization, from the power you have. And like it's been proven by Maslow, it's been proven by Maya, like every time you self-realize, you get like upper and upper in your like pyramid and stuff. So you actually want to reach more power. And why is this bad? Because this 1% of the world's population that controls so like such a big amount of money actually gets involved in our lives through politics, because they have so much influence in like political parties as they like support financially these parties. As a result, this 1 little percent influences the world of the majority, and this is not how it's supposed to work. The majority is supposed to choose how they want to live, not that 1%, which is actually like by their influence, they're just making their lives better, because obviously by financing these parties, the political parties, which are choosing how we are going to live, they are just making the rules, the frames are which are better for their lives. Again, discriminating the other classes and making the life in the upper class better. Wait.
Question.
No. Another thing. Sorry. Okay, enough has been said about poverty and wealth. About the $1 billion, like, we still think it's enough because money is a resource. So why do people need money? We need money in all. Wait, important point. So first of all, why do we want to get the money of the upper class? Because actually economics works like this. If I'm like a rich man, I have $1 billion, I just like money. I just want to have like billions and billions and billions, and they just stay in the corner of the room just because I like it, just because I really like to have some money. And this is not how it should work, because the money are supposed to like go around the economical system, because they're supposed to be in the rotation system. They're it's like, okay, if I take some money and I get them in I'm so sorry, I'm like really weird, and it goes like in the system. So basically, if I'm taking so if this guy has 30 million, but billion, sorry, but he can only have 1 billion, I'm taking 29, I'm getting them in the economic like global environment, and this money are distributing through other classes, because this money are now going to be in the middle class, in the poverty, in the lower class. As a result, the lower class, like the poverty just goes away, because there will be no poverty if we have this money, and these people are able to like get this money. Actually, they will have more possibilities, as I have already said, because the poverty will go away and all the consequences of the poverty will go away, because there will be money and the economical system will work. Oh, sorry. Wait, so enough. Yeah, okay. So why is it good? Because money is... Okay, sorry.
Okay, I'd like to thank the foreign lady for her speech, and now I'd like to welcome the Deputy Leader of the Opposition to continue their case.
Just a second. Okay, look, you are telling, first some points of rebuttal. You are telling us that if I have a lot of money in my hands, this money that doesn't work, this money doesn't work, they are not getting in the economical system, and it's good for us to go this money to economical system. But we are telling you that those money are going to economical system. Any transactions in the economy, it doesn't matter who does these transactions, like poor people or middle class or rich people. It doesn't matter who does this. If I buy a car and I give this money, my money, which I take from my job or something, or etc. If I buy a car, I put this money for the economical circle, and it's okay. It's not a problem who turned this, who put this money in economical circle. The point is that the economic works. So your point is absurd, and because of the rich people, economic doesn't stagnate. It's absurd. You know, like the economic system stagnate when there's no transactions and when there's no inflation. So, but it's not because just I have too much money, so I don't push them like in bank for deposit or in like buying helicopters or even in like for charity, etc. So this point is absolutely absurd. Next, poor people. You are telling us that poor people can make influence on the things in state. Poor people can make some influence on their lives at all, and rich people, because of their money, are using the power in state to become more rich and become more powerful. But we are telling you, firstly, not only rich people can make influence on the society, on the state, because like I don't know, like work unions can make influence on their life, on their lives, on their state lives, and laborist houses and laborist parties can make influence in the parliament because they are working, and so this point also doesn't work, because we know the cases when the middle class and even poor people are making the influence on the state. So we do not understand your point, and this why you're telling us this also. Moreover, you are telling us that self-realization. You're telling us, okay. You're telling us that every society have different classes. So, okay, a lot of money are held in our hands. Yeah, and I answered you about this because it's not a problem if I hold this money. You are telling us all your point and all your speeches are telling them about that the poverty is bad. Yes, we agree with that, but we do not understand how you are going to decide this problem of poverty by discriminating of rich people, by restricting of rich people, because you didn't show us this link between the reason and result. You didn't show us how if we place this limit for the wellness, how it will help us to get this wellness for all society. I just do not understand what the frames are you placing in our wealth system. It's like if we have a low level of wellness and we have a high level of wellness, let's balance it and make the high level of balance lower. It's absurd. It doesn't work at all in this case, and you didn't show us how. If I will have only a few billions, I will fix the society and I will fix the poverty. You didn't show us. Moreover, my teammate told you about that self-realization also didn't come only from money. It's going from motivation, and I can gain some result, and I can achieve some accomplishment and achievements because of my motivation. And a lot of people who are succeed in their lives become from the poverty. It's not a problem here because we have cases, and if you have only one case, then we have the proof that it works. Moreover, we want to tell you that as we told you, we can use the person as an instrument in government only if it's proved, only if it's argumented. But we understand that there is no reason to use these people, and we told you that firstly it will harm rich people, which is bad because there is no case in which rich people will getting better because we took from their money. Secondly, you didn't show us how the society will getting better, so there is no good result after this limitation and using of the person like an instrument in the government. So it's not a case also. Thirdly, you didn't show us how actually we have even the reasons to restrict these people, these rich people, because there is no reasons why they are guilty in the poverty. You didn't show us why they are guilty in the poverty, because if they was more motivated than poor people, or it was the poor people who was the poor man who was more motivated than another poor man, and he become rich. So what's the problem? It's like the point of motivation. Okay, so it doesn't problem. Moreover, we want to tell you that. You told us about this. There is no opportunity to get wellness, but my teammate told you that there is always opportunity to get wellness if you want to get wellness. And we just want to show you that there is an absolute mistake in your mechanism and your idea how to get the wealth for the society. Because if we are, okay, firstly, it's our problem as a government, and we accept it, and everybody, I suppose, accepted it, that we have these poor people, and we can make it better than they are. But the problem is that if you are looking the instrument to resolve this problem, so you are looking you found a wrong way, because we showed you that the rich people are not guilty first. Then, if they are not guilty, it will break and it will cause harm for them, and also it won't bring some benefits for society. So you can use them. And thirdly, why you just want to balance their it's like a little silly balancing of the economic and wellness system, because if we have good wellness and the bad wellness, so we just want to limitate this wellness in society at all, just without any reason, without any purpose, and without the link between the reason and result. And that's why we beg you to oppose. Thank you.
Okay, I thank the fine gentleman for his speech. I'd like to welcome the extension speaker from the proposition side to continue the case for a bench.
Good afternoon to everybody. My name is Veronica, and I represent the team Bad Boys. So, first of all, I want to say, attention please, I want to say about what? In this motion, we don't take your money. We don't take money from rich people. In this motion, just we take this surplus. So we don't say that if you have just you are just a rich person and you can be rich and everybody should be equal in economical position. No. In this motion we say about this surplus, and about it I will say more in my argumentation. So first of all, a little rebuttal that our opponent government didn't say. So happiness. You say that our motion poor aren't more happy and rich can't have their happiness. So look, if we say like it, we say that there are not so many people, poor people, who want to live for $5 per day. So we say that it's maybe more, no, it's not so often cases. And rich for their happiness, so now we say that personal happiness or good of a million people. So when we take to these things, we understand that this happiness, this desire of power, because when you want to have surplus of money, you want a power, you want really some realization. That's why it's not your, you don't need it really. That's why it doesn't work. No, how to. And my team, today we want to tell you about a little bit another things that poorness and the things like it. We want to say you about social question of this motion, about future and what this motion gives to both sides. So, first of all, I will say you about assurance in future for rich people. So, we know many stories of millionaires like Warren Buffett and Carly Fiorina, that these people, they're rich, but they had a lot of different situations in their life when they lost everything. So they weren't millionaires, so they are millionaire, and something like it, because it's life. And when we distribute this money, We say that we help to poor, and after that I will explain how. We help to poor, and we say that if I will be tomorrow, I will not have all my economic prosperity. So I know that I will have also this help, and that's why I am sure in future. And I can have my million, so just I can have billion because it's surplus. And our opposition says us, oh, you don't have mechanism. But okay, if you want some example, I will give you it. For example, Africa. So we have poor people, and we have a sultan. And this sultan, we know that really these countries, they are very perspective, and they can have money. This money there exists. Just all they are concentrating in the hands of the sultan. And we say that when we have this cap, so no. We have this cap, this money can be distributed between these poor people. That's why that's like an example. But our government say us, open government say us, no, say us that we will help to poor. That's why we play like they say. Second, it's debt to society. What we say, for achieve such immense economic prosperity, for to be really rich, we should use some things that are created by ordinary people. So when I work, when I have my business, I use some things which are not only mine, and that's why I say that I have some responsibility and I have some no. And that's why I say that I'm duty to society, because I used some wellness of all it, and now I should give something to them. And yet we say about justice. So we say about surplus, no. We say about surplus and excess. The money should work. Why we have money? Money are created for to give good things to people. So the money are created to bring good to mankind. They should be active. They should work. And if you have 5% of world wealth on shelf in your house, so we say that it's useless using of money. And there we say about the Rothschild, about Rockefeller, and we say that their money don't work, and it's not question even of economy, it's a question of social question. And in our case, a cap can regulate it, so the money can be really useful, and they can work and be effective. Yes.
Thank you. About responsibility. Actually, they are responsible. They make more wealth by creating workspace, and they could pay taxes to make
No, thank you. Understood. No, really, because for example, for this company work, they use something that is created by these people. Yes, maybe he gives some tax.
Out of order.
Some things like it. And we say that that's why they are responsible. You can say that they are responsible. They are duty to society. So that's why to have not this situation that we have today, when the large part of world wealth is concentrated in the hands of one certain clan, we say that our cap can regulate all these questions. And the rich people can have their million, they can work, they can earn money, and they are sure in their future, and they are up to society. So my position will be continued by mentioning. Thank you.
Again, the fine lady for a speech. I'd like to welcome the extended speaker from the opposition side to continue the case with bench.
It's my pleasure to stand here, and now I'm really counting on my time because there are lots of things to say. First of all, we would like to state some rebuttals, and we will also state why the proposition will not bring any good to society but will harm the society, why it will bring no good to such individuals who are going to restrict, it will bring harm to such individuals, why it is really stupid to provide it globally, not regionally, not locally, but globally, why it is unfair to make such such a proposition, and why it will not basically work. But first of all, I cannot stop myself from telling one thing which will ruin my structure of speech, but I was touched by it. Rockefeller stopped his money from working. Rockefeller put his money in a safe, and eventually Rockefeller was the first person who created, by his hands, he created the first global market at the whole world. Actually, it was Rockefeller. He hasn't stopped the money in his bank. But let me speak on the 4 points. What are the arguments of the proposition? They are telling that the concentration of money is bad. Excuse me, but even due to the legislation of Ukraine, the business is the concentration of organizing efforts and money. So without concentration of money, you will get no business at all. Are you really going to destroy any kind of a business? I hope not. You're telling that middle class has more will to change something, but has more money than poor people. But you never proved how. You never proved they have such a will. Because in my opinion, people from the middle class, they're still thinking how to get the money for their car, or for the room for their children, or for the house for their children. They're not thinking about development of the society. They're not thinking about Africa. They're thinking about the money for education of their children. That's the thing they're thinking about. You stated that poor people are staying poor, and they still got no education. You know, just 1 month ago, no, not now, thank you, Harvard University got the greatest amount of donation. It was 300 million. Do you think that it was a donation from the middle class? No, it was a private individual who were going to constrict. And this money were given for grants for people who got no money. I think I know it pretty good. Think about doing this kind of information. So this money were granted for scholarships. It's the way how the individuals invest in education of the poor people. You've told that 10 percentages of people are occupying 70 percentages of wealth. But why haven't you spoken that 5 percentages of people are creating the 80% of the global wealth? Why haven't you spoken that in France 10 percentages of the people are paying the 35 percentages of taxes? Why? You thought that when the women are forced to marriage. Excuse me, what? How does it reference? I do not understand how. I do not. No, thank you. You've also told that there is a hunger of the power of such a group. But really, I think that the presidents, the governors, the prime ministers are not more than 1% of the population. You cannot make 10% of the population ruling the country, because there always has to be a leader. No, everybody cannot be elitist. So, now I will speak on really basic and important things. Why it is not good for society? Because you are getting no working places. Because working places are provided by people such as Ford. And Ford was one of the richest men in his time. You told that I'm telling you that you are going to lose your educational programs because they are financed not by government, if we're speaking about Howard, or not about the middle class. They are financed by the individuals who get the high local income. It will ruin the medicine because if we're speaking about Ukraine, the medicine is free, but it is financed. And, for example, it will also ruin the common good, because common good, medicine, schools, they're all financed by taxes. And the rich people pay more money for tax. It will also harm the society. As I've already told, that no concentration of money will create no businesses at all. Society needs business, yes.
We are talking about a priori enormous concentration of money amount, not just enough money to start your business, and not just enough money to conduct business activity.
But I think not depends on a priori or not. You really need money to start business or to run business. Not depends a priori or not. This word is not so heavy. You will have no space programs, no aircraft programs. You will have no Apple. You will have no Windows if you got no Steve Jobs, if you got no Fiat. We've already spoken about Rothschild, but exactly, Ford was the man who created the cars for all of the society. He made, not now 15 seconds please, he created the cars and made them available for even poor people. He told that my aim is to create cars which every American can let him. And actually Branson said that if you are going for money, you will get nothing. If you are going for your dream of your aims, you will get both aim and both money. And that's the reason why, yes.
You know, when Steve Jobs started working for Apple, all he had was apples. He didn't have billions of dollars.
Thank you. That's very good. Thank you. Let me continue and answer your question. That's the case, and that's the case why the poor people can get rich, because three things same to Ford, Jobs, Rockefeller, Rothschild, and, for example, Kolomoisky. They were all poor, but they were all got lots of money. If we are speaking about Kolomoisky, you used his private bank to transfer your participation fee to being here. If not he, you would not be here really. And he used his money to protect the sovereignty of Ukraine, and it is very well known. He's not sitting to save his money in the bank. He used it. You're speaking that it will be fair, but